In this video, I'm playing Gears of War, the board game. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd do something a little bit different today. A little bit of a gameplay video of a board game I've had for quite some time. I think it's out of print now, so you might not be able to pick it up. And I have seen it on Amazon and on eBay for quite a few quid now. I think in some places it's fetching over £200. So just thought I'd have a quick playthrough of one of the little missions, see what you guys think. So here we have the first run through of Gears of War, the board game. And I've set everything up in advance here just to save a little bit of time so you don't have to see all of that kind of stuff. And the two characters we're playing today are these two guys. These are Marcus Phoenix and Damon Baird. What it shows here on the card is basically that Marcus has a Lancer assault rifle with 3 ammo. He has a snow pistol with 1 ammo and a bolo grenade with 1 ammo too. And then basically that shows here, you can see his Lancer with the 3 ammo, the snow pistol with 1 and the bolo grenade with 1. And Damon has something similar but with different amounts here. They both have a special ability which we'll come on to when it's relevant in the game. And this here basically just tells us that we roll 1 red dice when we're defending against the Locust. So how this game works basically is you have a set of mission cards, and on this mission card here it tells you exactly what to do. So after setting up all of the map, cover each emergence hole with a seal token except the one nearest the map exit. So what you have is you have these emergence holes. This is where we set up the Locust, and then we've covered them over, and the one nearest the exit there is uncovered, and that means that more Locusts can spawn from that point. So this card here tells us under enemies that A is wretches, B are drones, and C are boomers, and that relates to this part of the board here. So we have wretches, drones, and boomers, and then basically the general AI are the number of cards, and these are what are in the AI deck here, and that's what controls the Locusts. On the back of the card it tells us the locations for the map. So 2A relates to, if I can find it yet, that piece of the terrain there, which is 2A. And then 9A, for example, is this one. And what you do is you get these little cards that relate to each of those pieces of the map. You shuffle them up and you draw them out in random order. And that's how we've built this map for this particular game. Then what we do is it tells us on here that depending upon how many players you're playing, depends upon what emerges from the emergence holes. And the way I've played it is I'm playing 2 characters in solo play. So we see we've got 2 players. So basically every emergence hole on this tile, where there's 1 and 2, basically should have B, which is the drone. So what we do is we have them emerge at those holes. And again, so for this one, for example, the emergence hole has B, which again is a drone, and he is there. We've sealed all the emergence holes. Everything's ready to go. The characters here have their weapons all gone. Some of the miniatures actually are quite nice. I mean, they're not the nicest, they're not the best, but we'll just you can see the quality on them is actually quite good. And I always have intended to paint these guys up at some point and never got around to it. Anyway, we'll get to that one day. We're ready to go, and we're going to activate Marcus first. So he draws up to his hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can have a look at the cards that we've got here. So basically they have different options on them. I'll just spread them out a little bit so you can see some of them. And we can now what we can do is we can choose to use one of these order cards, or we can issue 1 attack order by discarding one of these cards and issuing an attack, or we can discard one of these cards and move 2 squares. So that would be 1, 2 squares. Just having a quick look across these, we've got things. So for example, this card Assault allows him to move up to 3 areas and then perform an attack. So in theory he could go 1, 2, 3 and attack this guy. But I think what we're going to do is we'll probably want to get rid of this guy first. So we're wanting something probably more around attack. This one probably looks more what we'd use. So perform 1 attack and move up to 3 areas, or move up to 3 areas and perform 1 attack. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this one, and I'll explain why now. So this goes onto a discard pile. We're going to move 1 area and attack. Actually, we're going to move 3 areas and attack. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now what you can do when you're in kind of in the same square as them, we can choose to use any one of these weapons. The bolo grenade basically blows up in a square. You can throw it up to 2 squares away, but it also damages everything in that square as well. So you'd hurt yourself if you try to attack with a grenade. We can use this little snub pistol. But what I'm going to do is there's a special, basically I can use the chainsaw on his assault rifle. And to do that, you basically, the Locust doesn't get a defend. Marcus gets to roll 4 of the attack dice. However, again, on his special ability, if you roll 1 additional die when using the Lancer's constant ability, the constant ability is the chain. So he gets an extra attack die, and basically what we're looking for is we're looking for that the gears symbol. Any one of those 5 dice is one of those that Locust dies. So let's talk them. Fingers crossed. And yeah, we've got one there. So this Locust is a dead Locust. He comes off. Now what you would normally do is if you injure them, you then basically would put one of these tokens underneath them, and that shows that they are now wounded. However, because we've killed him, it basically just drops that token, and on the other side of it means we can pick up a weapon. So he can then pick up that weapon. We can then choose to discard a card to pick up that weapon, or Damon has a special ability which basically says he doesn't need to discard a card to activate or pick up dropped weapons. So we can either leave it for Damon, or we can pick it up for Marcus. I think what we're going to do is, at this stage, I think we'll leave it for Damon. And the reason we're doing that is, actually no, we're going to use Marcus. And the reason you do that is that actually this hand of cards, this hand of 6 as it was, is basically your energy. And as these cards deplete, this is your energy running out. So the more cards you spend, basically, the more energy you're using. However, every turn you come back round again, you heal up to 2 cards. So I know I've only spent 1. I can now spend another one of these. I'm just going to spend this one. I think it doesn't seem that useful for me at the moment. Another cog figure in your area to draw 2 order cards. I tend not to have them running in the same areas, so we'll discard that one. And what we do is we pick up from the weapon pile, and he basically has a boom shot. So we can now add that to his weapons. Now what we've got here is we've got basically two different ratings, if you like. The first one is how many dice or black dice we roll to attack without spending an ammo token. The second one is how many we spend if we use the ammo token. So we can roll 3 dice if I spend an ammo token, or 1 dice if I don't spend the ammo token. Now this boom shot is, whilst it's a great gun, I don't have the option to use it without ammo. It actually comes with 2 ammo. So we can give 2 ammo to that. So that is Marcus's turn over. Turn now moves to the Locusts. So after every player activation, the Locusts take a turn, and they are controlled by an AI deck. So we flip over their card, and this is a general event card. So discard 1 ammo token from one of your weapon cards, then remove all dropped weapon markers from the map and draw a new AI card. The drop weapon marker comes off anyway. And then, yeah, so as the card says, we need to remove 1 ammo token. I'm going to remove it from the snub pistol, because actually this can still make normal attacks with no ammo, so I can still use that weapon actually. And remove all drop weapon markers. They've all gone. Draw a new AI card. So let's see what the next one says. Okay, so this one, each Locust that is 4 or more movement away from the nearest cog figure moves 3 towards him. 4 or more, so this one here is 1, 2, 3, so it's these ones here. So he will move 1, 2, 3, and this one here will move 1, 2, 3. This guy isn't far away, so he can stay where he is. And draw a new AI card. So things are happening quite fast at the moment. New AI card says, so this is for each wretch. Now I don't have any wretches in play at the moment. So if no wretches are in play, or all cog figures are in cover, draw a new AI card. So I need to draw a new one. And this one is for boomers. Boomers are the big guys. So attack the nearest cog figure within line of sight. Now, because we've moved this guy, he's now in line of sight of Marcus. So, if we have a look at the boomer. So the boomer attacks with 4 dice. So, because this boomer has line of sight, so basically we can use there's a line of sight marker, and basically as long as you can draw a line between the locust and the player character and it doesn't pass through any of these black walls, and we can see here there's definitely a line of sight through there, so he can attack. So the boomer rolled 4 black dice, and Marcus has 1 red dice. So this could be painful for Marcus. So 2 shields against 1 hit, and so this automatically deals 1 wound, and then Marcus saves the other shots. So basically Marcus takes 1 wound. Again, as I mentioned before, these cards are the player's wounds. So we need to get rid of it. We get to choose which one we want to move as well. What we'll do is we'll get rid of the ambush card. And we'll put that on the discard pile, and then that goes to there. So Marcus is now down to 3 cards. He'll get 2 back next round when he heals up, but unfortunately he's now below his 6, and this is how you start to lose. Energy. So next we have Damon Baird to activate. So he needs to get his 6 cards. What we probably want to do is we probably want to get rid of this guy here, I think. So what we could do is something that is either maybe move 1 area and attack, or perform an attack, because what we have here is we have these are barriers, and these little arrows here mean in cover. So here we can have Damon in cover, we can have him out of cover. What we see here is that this drone is in cover. So when they emerge from the Emergence Hall, this symbol here means that they automatically move into the nearest cover in that square. So he's actually in cover, and he'll get a bonus for any attacks. However, if we throw a grenade, into there, that ignores all cover. So I think that's what we're going to do from Damon. So we'll have something that maybe perform 1 attack. So this one here, perform 1 attack. If you spent an ammo token on this attack, you may then resolve a 2nd order. So I think we're going to spend this one. What this will do is means we can make an attack. We'll spend an ammo token to throw his bolo grenade, and basically we just roll 4 black dice, and we're hoping to do some damage. So this is basically the drone. They defend with 1 red dice. So 1 red dice, 4 black dice. Let's see if we can take him out. And we did 1 point of damage with the gears symbol. He couldn't defend anything, so he's lost another 5 points, so 6 points in total. These guys have 3 wounds, so that guy is dead. And again, we check the dropped mortar. Unfortunately, he's just dead, so no dropped ammo. That card, if you remember, basically said we can then resolve a 2nd action. So I think we need to try and get a little bit of movement here, as much movement as we can. So I think what we'll do is we'll do this one here, explore, and we'll move 4 areas. So we discard that one, and here's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you'll see here there's a little question mark on the ground. This is basically some kind of mystery equipment. and he has a special ability that means he doesn't have to discard an order card to pick this up. So we look on this card. The little question mark there basically says it's ammunition. We can discard this card and gain up to 3 ammo tokens, and we can place them anywhere we want. So I think what we'll do is we'll replenish his bolo grenade, and because the lancers are so strong when you're using, so 4 black dice when we're using an ammo token, I think what we'll do is we'll give him an extra couple of bits of ammo as well. So again, that's the end of Damon's turn. What we'll do now is we then go to the Locust. They have their AI deck. This one here basically is for each wretch. Again, we don't have any wretches on the board. If no wretches in play, new AI card. This one is boomers again. So if within one area of a cog figure, so none of my boomers, these 2 are within one area of a cog figure. So move one area towards the nearest cog figure, then attack him if in line of sight. Oh dear. So he moves 1. He moves 1, but this black line here blocks line of sight. So Boomer is going to attack Marcus again, unfortunately. So it was 4 black dice for the Boomer, 1 defense dice for Marcus. Let's see how many Marcus can try and offset. Oh, so that's bad. So Marcus takes 2, 3, 4 points of damage. Nothing on the defense. So he gets to his cards here, and he's got 3 cards left. He loses all of those cards, and he is now classed as bleeding out. So because he's bleeding out, he then goes face down to show that. Now it's actually back to Marcus's turn, so this is a good chance to show exactly what happens when we're bleeding out. So when you're bleeding out, you can't heal. All you can do is crawl 1 square. That's it. So luckily he can crawl 1 square to here. Now what this means is basically that his next turn, Damon can discard a card to revive him. So he comes back with 0 cards, but he can activate as normal, and he would then revive 2 on his next turn. However, that's the end of Marcus's turn now, and now it's time for the Locust activation, the Locust AI. So what we've got here is we've got another general card. If 1 or more Locust is within 2 movement of you, here it is, 1, 2. Each Locust moves 2 areas toward you in your area, and it attacks you. However, when you're bleeding out, models can't attack you. So basically, the rule here says that basically Locusts can't attack bleeding out figures. A bleeding out active player still makes all choices on the card, and if the AI card refers to you, the card instead targets any other cog of the active player's choice. So unfortunately, what he's going to do is the Boomer is going to move into this square, and he's going to attack Damon instead. Again, Boomer's 4 black dice. Damon defends with 1. This is a brutal game, this one. So we'll roll these and see what happens. Again, not great. So we've taken 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. And he's only got 4 cards, so he takes 4 points of damage for that. And the 5th point makes him bleeding out. And as soon as you got 2 cogs bleeding out, there's nobody left to revive them. And it's game over. So that was a quick and brutal game, guys. Oh dear. So there we have it, eh? That was brutal, I must admit. I had a couple of playthroughs beforehand just to kind of sort of familiarise myself with the rules again, and none of the games went like that, and I was in 2 minds about whether to upload this or not, but hey, this is how games go, and that's how they are. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Maybe we can play some more board games like that, especially ones where you can play solo as well. If that's something that interests you, let me know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.